Polo is a game that is often associated with Britain, but in fact, the sport was first played in Persia sometime around the 6th century BC. At first, polo was a training game for cavalry units, usually the King's Guard or other elite troops. Now, Iranians no longer have a king, but they have retained their love for polo, as Iran's IRIB explains.
Polo, a bridge between two generations with a gap as wide as several decades. That's usually the first impression that a newcomer gets when they join the spectators. Amateurs and professionals regularly play together and against each other.
I've been playing polo for 14 years now. I learned it from my father, who's a long-time polo player, my grandparents, my great-great-grandparents, all bred and kept horses.
Polo, the so-called game of kings and the king of games, is played on horseback between two teams of 3 or 4 players. With their mallets swinging, racing riders drive the ball to the goal. The 2,600-year-old polo is without doubt the oldest ball game in the world. A game of Central Asian origin, polo was first played in Persia, where the first traces of this half-sportive, half-warlike activity are found in Persian literature and arts. Ferdowsi, the most famous Iranian poet-historian, gives a number of accounts of royal polo tournaments in his 9th century Shahnameh, or the Epic of Kings. Many of the old Persian manuscripts are beautifully illustrated with miniature paintings showing royalty and their best horsemen playing polo. In Isfahan, capital of the Safavid dynasty in the 16th century, the enormous central square of Nakhchivan was a polo field where King Abbas watched the matches from the towering veranda of his 7-story Ali Ghafu palace. What remains of 2 sets of stone poles represents the posts of that field. At that time in Persian, the sport was called chogan or mallet, but when it found its way to other countries such as China, Japan and Tibet, the name changed to polo, originating from the Tibetan word of pulu, meaning willow, of which the ball was made. Although over centuries polo witnessed a fall in Iran, achievements scored in the past few decades and subsequent formation of a national polo team proved the loyalty of Iranian players to the monument left behind by their ancestors. They bend over to score home and score a point of those who claim polo is theirs to tell them it is Iranian, and they are batting a ball which has been bouncing off in Iran since 600 BC. Actually, all attention is focused on training a team which can help Iran reclaim its rightful place as the inventor of polo, particularly in 2008 when this game is expected to return to the Olympic Games after several years of absence. Hooman Bagheri, reporting for CNN World Report, Tehran.